All right, guys, we got our full body cars routine. Starting with the top, starting with the neck, going all the way down to your feet. This should be done every day, could be done every day. I try to do this every morning, and then if I'm working out later that day, I'll just worry about doing the cars for the areas that I'm working out. But I try to work every single joint at least once that day, and I'll try to squeeze them in here and there throughout the day as well. Let's go. We're gonna start with the neck. Now, what I do wanna say is if you have pinching on any closing side of your neck, so let's say I go like this, and there's sort of a pinch here, two options. One, skip the neck cars for today and just kind of let things settle. Or two, if it's persistent, go get it checked out by a physical therapist, someone that can actually get hands-on and diagnose you. If you are going to go through neck cars, just try to avoid any pinching spots. Cut the circle. This is the only time I'm ever going to say cut the corner and go around that pinching spot so you don't feel any pain or too much discomfort. Standing nice and tall, core is active a little bit to make sure that everything else is grounded. We're not going to get compensatory movement through the rest of your body. You're going to start by pulling your chin backwards, tucking forward, twisting to the left over your left collarbone, twisting, 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 push your chin to your back pocket. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and down. We're going to transfer into a sideways bend on the left, and then we're going to go up and around slowly. Big circle to side bend on the right. From side bend on the right, we're going to start to twist and push your chin to your back pocket again. And now keep twisting as you bend forward slightly and scrape down the right collarbone to the middle. We're going to go the other way, back up the right collarbone. Push your chin to your back pocket. Transition to a side bend, push your fists down to the floor. Up and around, big rainbow across the back. Side bend on the left. Twist, chin to back pocket on the left. Again, shoulders are down, fists to the floor. Scrape your left collarbone down to the middle. Awesome, we're gonna do 2 reps of everything today. Let's do another one. Chin back and curl forward. Up the left collarbone. Chin to back pocket. Transition to side bend and big rainbow across the top. To side bend on the right. Twist, chin to back pocket on the right. Scrape the collarbone down. Back up the right. Chin to back pocket. To side bend. To rainbow. To side bend. Chin to back pocket. Scrape the collarbone. Excellent. We got scapula, shoulder blades. You're going to have your hands at your side. Try to point your thumbs forward. Don't let them rotate. Always have them pointing forward, and even try to get your elbows pointing forward too. You're going to push your fists down to the floor, and from this point, your elbows will never bend. Push your fist down to the floor, and now scrape your shoulder blades forward, trying to get them to touch each other. Pushing them forward, we're going to go up into a shrug in the front. And now holding that shrug, we're gonna go across the top to the back. And now holding at the back, squeezing them together, we're gonna push your fists down to the floor again. And we're gonna go across the bottom. Let's go one more rep this direction. Pushing forward, we're going up the front. Pushing up, we're going across the top and squeezing them together, we're going back down. Good, let's go the other way. Push your fists down to the floor as the initial movement. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Come up the back and into a shrug. Holding that shrug tension across the top to the front, trying to get your shoulders to touch. Now down the front, opposite of a shrug, and across the bottom. Let's go one more rep. Squeeze your triceps to keep your elbows straight. Cool, let's go into shoulder cars. Let's start on this side. Nice firm base of support, a little bit of core activity. You're gonna start palm forward, scrape the inside of your shoulder and to the top. Pausing overhead, nice straight elbow. Start to reach for the wall behind you and start to internally rotate, meaning now my palm is facing forward. Now it's going down. And I'm gonna keep internally rotating as much as I can as I carve a massive circle out behind me. And pause at the bottom, palm out, straight back to the wall behind you without rotating. Pause there. And now start to undo that twisting with a big circle. This shoulder is steady, not letting it hike up or flop around too much. All the way back to overhead. Rotate to make a tray of drinks like a waiter as you come across the inside of your body, scraping the edge of the range of motion. One more rep. Scrape up the inside with that tray of drinks. Don't let that tray spill. All the way up to overhead. From overhead, start to carve out that massive circle as big as you can, always trying to get your shoulder into as much range of motion as you can. Internally rotating all the way down to the bottom, pointing your palm out now. Puff the chest, set the shoulder blades. We're going to go backwards to the wall behind you as much as you can without twisting. And now start to make that big circle again as you undo that rotation. To the top, make that tray of drinks. Whether you're open hand or fist, doesn't really matter. Other side. Slowly across the front, all the way to overhead. Pause, lock the elbow, make sure it's nice and straight. Big circle behind. Internally rotating, finishing with palm facing out, coming straight back. And making that circle. Again, a little bit of core activity to keep everything else solid. Trying to brace those shoulder blades and the entire upper body so that nothing moves except for that ball and socket shoulder joint. One more rep. Slow and steady, slow and steady. All right, we got elbows now. So with your elbow ditch pointing to the wall in front of you, you're gonna bend your elbows and bring your hands up. You're gonna try to rotate pinky up to the ceiling as much as you can and squeeze at the top. Try to touch your wrist to your shoulder muscles. Now you're gonna flip your hands to the inside. Try to push your palm to face the wall in front of you, and we'll start to come down. That's one. Rotate back out, palm to the wall in front of you. Bring it up, rotate pinky up as much as you can, thumb away, get to the top and squeeze. Try to touch your shoulder muscles with your wrists. Fold palms inside, try to point your palms to the wall in front of you as much as you can. Twisting, twisting, twisting. As we come back down, we're gonna go the opposite way. So now your palms stay forward. As you come up, try to touch your wrists to your shoulder muscles, squeeze, flip, and now try to drive your thumbs away as much as you can, rotating that whole forearm as you come down. Flip, palms to the wall behind you, start to come up. Pinky is up, thumb is forward, trying to point your palms to the wall in front of you. Open it up and squeeze, try to drive your thumbs away, try to keep touching your wrists to your shoulder muscles, and we're gonna try to rotate, keep rotating as we come down. You got wrists, you can do them one at a time, you can do them both at a time. I'm gonna do both at the same time. Make sure that your forearm muscles don't roll over, your whole forearm doesn't roll over. I want you to imagine you got something really expensive, like a iPhone or something, balancing right there on your forearm. If you tip, it's coming down, it's breaking. There's $1,000 out of your pocket, 2,000 if you're going both at the same time. Let's go wrists. You're gonna bend to the inside. You're gonna bring them up to the top. I want you to fight to flex your wrists as much as you can. I want you to try to touch your index fingers to the wall, to the walls outside of you as you come down. And now try to fight into as much wrist extension as you can as we come back to the middle. And again, do not let your forearms roll. We're gonna do 3 each way because it's such a small joint, small movement. Super controlled. Oh. We're gonna go the other direction too. Tip inside, extend, show your palms to the person standing in front of you. Up the outside, which is a very small movement, to the top, flex as much as you can, inside and down. Do not let your forearms roll, and try to carve as much room as you can. I'd say out of all the cars that I do, I probably do wrists the most, and it's still pop, pop, pop all the way around like Rice Krispies. All right, working our way down, we're going to spine. Hands are gonna come onto shoulders. You're gonna start to flex and curl your entire spine forward. Now I want you to consider your spine to end at about your belly button. So your belly button down, your lumbar spine, that just stays solid. All of the movement that we're gonna be doing comes from about where your thoracic spine meets your lumbar spine and up, okay? So we're gonna start to flex forward. We're gonna twist to the left. And we're gonna side bend to the left. Okay, core stays tight. Suck in your core as you lift your elbows and your shoulders and try to extend your entire thoracic spine. You should feel all these muscles working here as you come up and around to the right into a side bend on the right. Pause, twist. Keep your hips pointing straight in front of you. And roll it down into a flex position. Good, we're gonna go the other way. Hips stay square, lower lumbar spine stays square, everything below your button, belly button stays firm and square. We're gonna flex forward. We're gonna twist to the right now. Point your elbows and your shoulders towards that right wall. Keep that right hip pushing forward. We're gonna go into side bend on the right. We're gonna extend your thoracic spine and then come around to the other side, staying extended and now coming down into a side bend. You're gonna twist to the left, meaning push your left hip forward and flex it forward. Awesome, that's 1 rep. These can be a little tough to get used to, but with practice, you'll get the right feeling. Now for the second rep, we're gonna switch which hand is on top. Not a big deal, but we do wanna stay pretty symmetrical. Let's fold forward, twist to the left, hips are square, side bend to the left, doesn't have to be much. We're not coming all the way over here, it's just the upper back. Up and around. To the right side bend, twist to the right, and flex it forward. Let's go back up to the right with a twist, into a side bend, and extend your whole T-spine, your whole upper spine as you come around to the left, side bend, and twist it. Hips are square, and then flex it forward. Cool. Hips, I'm gonna plant one hand on the wall. They're gonna hate me for having to clean this mirror. It's the inside leg that we're gonna use. So you're biasing your body toward leaning into the wall. It's gonna be super stable that way, okay? This hand I'm gonna bring out for support. You're gonna start by bringing your toes up towards your knee. And you're gonna bring your knee up. And as you do that now, you're gonna try to bring your ankle up on the inside to try to touch this shoulder. This leg stays perfectly straight at all times, and this hip stays engaged. Pause there. Shift to the outside. I now have a vertical shin. My ankle is right below my knee, but my hips are both pointing straight. And now I'm gonna rotate to try to get my shin bone parallel with the ceiling. And I'm gonna pause there, because this is always what feels the best. Try not to let your lower back arch and all that spine to move. From here, tuck your heel to your butt and make a nice big circle behind you like you have a marker on your knee. Okay, that's one direction, we gotta go the other way. So tuck your heel to your butt, pretend there's a marker on your knee and make a big circle up and around behind you into the side position here with a nice horizontal shin parallel to the ceiling. Now we're gonna rotate to vertical shin. And now we're gonna come up and around into flexion and external rotation. Lower leg stays straight, straight, straight. And we can put it down. That's one. Let's do one more. Up in front. Don't bend your lower leg. Out to the side. Ankle under knee. Rotate. Shin parallel to ceiling. Tuck your heel to your butt. Make a nice big circle like you got a marker on your knee. Okay? The whole back end there, I really want you to focus on squeezing your glutes to get that movement, because the tendency is to arch lower back to try to get out behind you, and it's no good. We're gonna tuck your heel to your butt, come up behind and out to the side, shin parallel to ceiling, lower leg straight, rotate to vertical shin, straighten your lower leg, come up and around the front, and put it down. If there's one thing I want you guys to focus on from day one, is not about how big of a movement you can get, it's about limiting spinal movement. And another thing to focus on is keeping that bottom leg straight. If you do those two things, that hip will open up in no time. Let's go other side. Knee comes up, ankle comes up, try to touch that ankle to the shoulder. Out to the side, pause, rotate, and big circle around, no spine movement to do so. Tuck behind, squeeze your glutes to get up and around, to shin parallel to the ceiling, rotate to vertical shin, up and across the front. Don't bend that leg, and put it down. Let's go one more rep. We're gonna go slow on this one, so listen to my cues, move with me. Knee up and ankle up, and pause. And now we're gonna open it up. Slowly open up that grind, squeeze your glutes. Hips are both pointing forward still. We're gonna rotate to parallel shin. We're gonna hang out there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we're gonna finish with a big circle behind, and you can put it down for a half second. You're gonna tuck your heel up towards your butt, squeeze your glutes to carve a big circle into parallel shin, and hang out there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go to vertical shin, pause, hips are both forward and across the front, hang out up top, lower leg is straight, and put it down. I'm gonna bring the camera in closer. Right about there. We got knee cars and ankle cars. So, knee cars, if it's for your first time, I would recommend just having your heel on the ground, pull your foot up towards your knee, and just practice on trying to get, see this bone right here? I'm trying to get that to go right and left. Okay, once you build that up, we can go into the full knee cars, which we'll do now. There's a great video on my Instagram about sort of building up that movement. You can go check it out. So, I'm gonna use my hands and my arms to kind of create the sleeper hold on my thigh bone, my femur, so that it doesn't move. I'm gonna pull my toes up, and I'm gonna shift that bony prominence to the outside, fight like crazy. And I'm gonna extend just to wherever I want to, wherever I can really, and we're gonna come back inside and flex. It's all about that part right there. The front of your tibia moving to the outside, that way. Now I'm gonna extend, and now I'm pulling it back. That way, and down. Okay, let's go the other direction. So keep it inside and go up. Don't let your thigh rotate at all. Pull to the outside and down. You're gonna start off, your ankle's gonna be doing all the movement, but over time it'll start to make sense. And up, and down. Perfect. And let's just do that same leg. We'll go ankle. So I'm gonna support my calf on my foot to give myself a little bit of clearance so my ankle's floating. Okay, I'll shift back just because I don't know where the camera can see. From there, I'm going to keep my quad nice and tight to sort of lock off my whole knee into a nice stiff base for my ankle to move upon. I'm going to pull my toes up towards my knee. I'm going to shift to the outside and go down the outside wall. To the bottom, I'm going to point as much as I can. I'm going to come inside and up the inside and across the top. And all the while, I'm squeezing like crazy to try to get as much movement as I can out of my ankle. These muscles do not get used at their extreme ranges very often, so this will probably feel a little weird if you haven't done it before. Okay, let's stay at the top. We're gonna go inside and down, across the bottom with a point, up the outside. Don't worry so much about what your toes are doing, just try to draw those foot bones around in a big circle, across the top, down the inside, big point, up the outside, and good. Let's go knee cars on the left. Pulling that bone outside and up. And now inside and down, outside and up, inside and down. Trying to get that whole shin bone complex to rotate. I think I just did 3 instead of 2, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Let's keep it inside and go up. Pull it outside and in. To the inside and up, to the outside and in. And we'll finish off with our ankles. Lock that knee with the quad. Make sure there's no movement coming from the knee. You can even like hold it if you want so it doesn't rotate. Big circles here, as big as you possibly can. Trying to get into all 4 corners. Going forward, backwards, and sides are not so bad, but connecting from up, now going around that corner into the side can be where we run into some stickiness. So really fighting the corners as you're transitioning. Sometimes you can play with trying to keep your toes pointed the entire circle. Sometimes you can play with trying to keep your toes up the entire circle. Okay, let's go back the other way. Inside and up the inside wall to the top and down the outside wall to the bottom. Big point to the inside and up and to the outside and down. And there you have it. There's your daily cars routine. You can have some fun with your toes if you want. You can do a little big toe action or try to play with the piano going down 1 toe at a time. Whatever you want to do there. That's just kind of a fun little bonus, but that's pretty much every joint in your body from head to toe. So try to squeeze these in most mornings if you can. It's pretty unlikely that you're going to go from 0 to 7 days a week, but try to make it a habit. Get your cars done as much as you possibly can. There's no downside to doing cars. And then when you go to your workouts, you can just focus on hitting those specific cars that you need to because you already did everything else that day. Great job. Thanks for watching.